Hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, good evening if you are tuning in on the replay, but good morning if you are watching me live today for the Business Wealth Show. Thank you so much for tuning in and thank you for joining me. Today is Tuesday, which means that it is Top Tip Tuesday, but I don't actually have one tip today. I have 6 because today I am sharing the 6 habits to live your best life. These are 6 habits that I instill in my life. I try and live up to every single day. And I'm going to be sharing with you, sharing those with you today. So I am looking forward to doing that. Thank you everyone who is joining me, whichever platform you are watching on today. Love Faz, thank you so much for tuning in once again. It's always lovely to see you. From Florida, I'm thinking that it's probably going to be an awful lot warmer than it is here. We have snow on the ground today. So I hope you are enjoying what I'm assuming is the sunshine. So thank you everyone who is tuning in. Thank you everyone who is joining me. It's always lovely to see your hellos in the comments and all those things, to know who is tuning in and to know who is here. We are, of course, currently live on Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, and inside the Uncover Wealth community, my private community on Facebook. If you are not already inside the Uncover Wealth community, I invite you to come and join us in there as well. We have our exclusive training later today inside there for Training Tuesday. So do make sure you come in. You just need to go to Facebook and type Uncover Wealth Community into the search bar, answer the questions, hit join and come on in. We would love to have you inside there as well. That community is completely free. So please do come and join us. So today, as I said, I'm going to be sharing the 6 habits to live your best life. I have some notes here too. So if I look down, I am referring to the points just to make sure that I cover everything off in this session today. So the first habit is taking full responsibility. We are responsible for everything that happens in our lives, and we need to take full responsibility for everything that happens in our lives. And if we don't do that, it makes life much harder. It makes operating in the world much, much harder. So taking full responsibility for everything always makes things better. For example, let's say you have something go wrong with your business and, an employee does something that you don't like, or a team member, does something in a way that you're not happy with. You might instantly go to blame them. But in actual fact, you're the one that hired them. You're the one that trained them. You're the one that gave them the role or the instructions. And therefore, you have to come back to yourself and go, okay, what can I take responsibility here for? What should I be looking at? Same thing if you have a customer or client that is unhappy. What can you take responsibility for? What can you examine in yourself? What are you responsible for? This is really key in terms of stepping up your business and stepping up yourself as well. So that's the first habit that I recommend and have to live your best life is number 1, taking full responsibility for everything. Number two sounds easy, and instinctively you'll say, well, that's me, of course. But in reality is actually challenging, really challenging, because number 2 is truth-telling at all times. And most of us would not associate ourselves with lying, but of course, we are sometimes in a position where we do not want to be fully open and honest with people, whether that be ourselves and not being fully open and honest with ourselves, whether that be our support systems, our friends, our family, or whether that be our clients. Let me give you an example. I had a client who was telling me that she really liked this other person's business model and she wanted to kind of emulate their business model because they were financially successful. And I actually knew this other person, I'd seen behind the curtain, as it were, in their business, and I very much knew that they weren't. I knew that there was a lot of problems with their business, and it was really difficult for me to tell my client that. One, because they looked up to this person. Two, because of course, there's there's professional ethics there involved as well, because I had seen this person's business from behind the curtain and it wasn't public knowledge. But where does that lie then? Where does me sharing that with the client fall into being open and honest with them, and being open and honest with myself, and that truth telling aspect? Sometimes it's very challenging to navigate and work through. But again, in doing that, it is that good things happen. And it may not feel good in the moment. It may feel horrible in the moment, but actually we move to a positive place as a result. So that is number 2. As I say, I think that's probably actually the hardest on the list, even though we wouldn't identify ourselves as people who have a problem with telling the truth. We wouldn't identify ourselves as liars, but you can see in that situation, it's very hard to kind of come out and be 100% honest with that other person. And I'm sure you can think of many, many examples in your own life. Perhaps you have a team member who's not performing and you're struggling to tell them. You're struggling to say, actually, I'm not happy with this, this, and this. It can be very challenging, even for people who are incredibly truthful. It can be very, very challenging. Number 3, the third of my 6 habits to live your best life is consistency. Now, I don't just mean consistency in terms of posting on social media for your business. I mean consistency in all areas of your life. Are you consistent with your physical health? Are you consistent with what you need to do for your mental health? Are you consistent with what you need to do for your marketing for your business? Are you consistent with the delivery you give to your clients? Are you consistent with the way you talk to yourself? Are you consistent with your children? Are you consistent with your friends? All areas of our lives, are you consistent? And that doesn't mean relentless in any capacity. It means consistent. There are 2 different words, but consistency, I think, is incredibly, incredibly important to us living a harmonious life with ourselves in reality. So are you consistent? That is number 3. Number 4, and hello everyone who's watching, by the way. I hope that you are enjoying this. We are covering the 6 habits to live your best life. So far, we've covered number 1, responsibility, number 2, truth telling, and number 3, consistency. So I'm going to go on to number 4. Number 4 is planning, but not just planning, sticking to the plan. You've heard the quote a million times, which I'm probably going to get slightly wrong, but it's around, if you have to I'm stumbling over my teeth today. If you have to chop down a tree, and you have 10 hours to do it, you spend 9 hours sharpening the axe and 1 hour chopping the tree. And that is what planning's about. Planning is about understanding where you are now, understanding where you want to get to in any area of your life, and in any subcategory of that, whether that just be going to supermarkets, or whether that be building a £2 million business, and understanding where you are now, where you want to get to, and planning out the action points, the things that need to happen on the way, planning out the roadmap for yourself, and working out what needs to happen to achieve the results that you want to achieve, whether those results are that you've come home from the supermarket with the right stuff, or whether those results are that you have a £2 million business. It doesn't matter either way. Planning is what gets us results in all areas of our lives. And so as part of planning, you can plan for consistency. You can plan in number 3 in particular, but you can also plan in the other things that I'm talking about today too. The other habits can be built in as a result of planning. And of course, once you have planned, making sure that those plans are adhered to, making sure that you hold yourself responsible, point number one, to the plan that you have put in place, and making sure that you consistently deliver on it, point number three, and making sure that you are sticking to that plan, making sure that the plans that you make with yourself, you uphold as much as the plans you would with any other person. So that is number four. Number four is planning. Number five, relaxation, fun time, self-care. Those all come under number five for me in terms of habits to live your best life. We all need downtime. We all need time to relax, to enjoy ourselves. Have you got time set aside for that? Now, I know that, this past summer, people's summer holidays probably went up in smoke, but did you just work instead, or did you take time to relax? Did you take time for yourself? Making sure that we have that time in our diaries and we stick to it with our plan. We can plan it, we can stick to it, we can, hold ourselves responsible, and we can set up time consistently. We can do all the things. You can see how all these things are kind of weaved together. There is a web here that is forming. Making sure that we get that downtime is so incredibly important, especially as business owners, especially because we are running busy lives. Perhaps at the moment you're homeschooling and also trying to run a business at the same time. You still need time for relaxation, for downtime, even if that is a 20-minute bath at 9 o'clock at night at the end of a long day. You still need time to shut down, to rest, to relax, to rejuvenate, because it is only then that you can come to life in a strong position. And number six, my final habit to live your best life is gratitude, is a mindset of gratitude. Being grateful for what we have is so important. It might seem difficult sometimes to have gratitude and to be grateful. It may seem like things are against us. It may seem like life is hard. But actually, if we switch it around to being grateful for the things that we do have, a roof over our head, a warm home, clothes on our body, food in our stomach, we are so much richer than so many other people. Just by the pure fact you are watching this means you have a device you can watch it on and you can be grateful. So gratitude can come as a result of tiny things. You can be grateful for those that love you. You can be grateful for the family you have. You might even be grateful that you don't speak to your family, whichever way around it is, but you can have gratitude. And I think that's an incredibly important habit as well. So those are my 6 habits to live your best life. My 6 habits, like I said, are responsibility, truth-telling, consistency, planning, fun relaxation time, and gratitude. I highly urge you to think of what you think your 6 habits could be to live your best life. They might be the same as mine. You might have some others in there. You might have more than 6. You might have less than 6. You might have completely different habits, but it's not going to do you a disservice to have a think about actually, what are the habits that you want in your life? What can you instill in your life so that you can live your best life, so that you can show up as the best version of yourself every single day, and that you can elevate every area of your life at the same time. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Business Wealth Show. I do appreciate you joining me today. The Business Wealth Show is, of course, live weekdays at 7:30 a.m. Currently, subject to change, of course, as schools go back, as we end up, without homeschooling again. So it will be subject to change, but for the current point in time, it is 7:30 a.m. wherever you are watching today. Lafaz is saying, I need to discuss a business idea I have in mind. Lafaz, in which case, drop me a DM on one of the platforms. I think you're watching on Periscope. So either hop over to my Twitter or my Instagram, which I think you can link to from there, and we can have a chat, or you can go to annetteandco.co.uk and and book a call with me that way. So Lafaz, if you want to do that, that would be great. And we can have a chat about your business for sure. Similarly, if anyone else wants to speak, is interested in working together, then do just drop me a DM on whichever platform you happen to be watching on. We can arrange a time to chat and see how we can support you as well. So thank you everyone for tuning in to the Business Wealth Show today. I hope to see you back again tomorrow. Tomorrow I am sharing my 3 favorite sources for inspiration. So I hope to see you on the Business Wealth Show for that again tomorrow. Same time, same place, 7:30 a.m., wherever you happen to be watching today. If you've enjoyed this session, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Let me know that you have got value from this session with your likes and your hearts, or whatever platform you're on and whatever version it is for you. Do let me know with that. I would appreciate it very much. And I will speak to you all very, very soon. See you tomorrow. Bye.